Yeah, I even have students go in and
I've just found, and they, you know, it's one of those things that I do oh man, tough break bonding kind of moment. Great, you get another chance to practice. And I say, oh, it didn't upload. Don't worry, I'm not going to take any points off. If it's late, go ahead and record it now. So, let's look at the personal introduction.
I don't know if the lab computers have built-in microphones.
I've used them before.
Oh,
They do. Now, if you have set up these talk groups, you can set it up so that the students record in a stream, so that their voices pop up one after the other. So you don't have to open and close and open and close and open and close. But to be able to do that, they've got to click on the title of the assignment and record. So what I tell them is, look for the name of the assignment and look for my face. Because I tell them I'm never going to give you the assignment directions in class. So that forces them, they've got to find my face, they've got to listen to me and get the assignment directions. Hello, welcome to Listening Speaking 3 at Hillsborough Community College. That's me. I enjoyed meeting you today, and I'd like to learn more about you. So in this assignment, I would like you to spend 35 to 45 seconds introducing yourself. Give me your name, your country, the language or languages you speak, and 2 or 3 interesting blah 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 blah. Because I'm going really slow because it's day 1 and I'm afraid they might not get it. Then I give them an example. Hi there, my name is April Muchmore Logan. I was born in the state of Nebraska, and my family moved to Florida when I was about 9 years old. So it goes on for 44 seconds. They get the gist of the language I'm using, the grammar I'm using, my expectations, and then they record each other. So let me see. Katya's pretty good.
Hi, Miss April. My name is Katia Licea. I am one of your students in your class, speaking and listening 3. I came from Cuba 2 years ago with my family. My first language is Spanish.
Yeah, she's got a beautiful voice. You can see the Asian students recorded more than one time and sometimes saved it. What's going on here? This is just real slow. Not all the Asian students. I had a Spanish student do too. You learn more about the students. Next semester what I'm going to do is get a Find Someone Who activity. I'm going to listen, create a Find Someone Who, and give it to them for homework. They have to go in and listen to each other's presentation. Find someone who wants to be an actress. My quietest, shyest, lowest Vietnamese student wants to be an actress. And I would have never known that if I hadn't had this option. So, some of the other things that I have done in class. Describing your reason. Week 4, you had to call in and leave a telephone message for me. Pretend like you were leaving a phone message for your job. So some people left me messages about changing a doctor's appointment. Some people told me about changing their child's section, everything. I got the whole range of messages. And as things go along, they're becoming more and more proficient. This week they had to find out what the word localvore meant, because we're in chapter 12 in the listening speaking book. Well, what's a localvore? The first one to get in there gets to say whatever they want, use whatever grammar they want, whatever formation you want, but after that, as you record, you can't use the same structure. You can use the same definition, but you got to use different adjective clauses, different grammar, different vocabulary. And I told the students, actually, the people who recorded last recorded best, because they were the most creative in their structures and their vocabulary. This Monday, I gave them, will be due, I gave them a map. They have to give me directions from point A to point B in a telephone message. I know Cindy's done a lot of things, not just with listening, speaking. What are some things you've done?
You want me to show them to you?
Sure, I'd love to.
So, have you ever gone into the lab with them to do this, or do you do it all from the classroom?
You mean
It's
the recording?
homework.
It's homework. At this point, it's homework.
So
Because
it's never during class time, which is
Because
great.
my class conflicts with lab use. I'm in the morning, so there's always somebody in the lab. That's why I'm excited that we're gonna have the lab downstairs open soon, because I'm hoping at least the last one will be timed, and I'll control their notes.
What about students that don't have computers or find this to be?
I offer up
overwhelming?
my office. I offer up to spend time with them
We
in the
don't have an
labs.
office.
Well,
In the
then the second option would be you can take them into the lab, because there are microphones in the lab. I've not had anyone come to me and say, I absolutely can't
Wow,
do
great.
this, which is nice.
And starting next week, we've hired 2 lab assistants.
Yay!
So they'll be in there, so the lab will be open all the time.
Awesome.
Because most of the students I have right now, for example, in my speech and listening class, they work 9 to 5, and then they take classes at 5 and 7, and then they go home, take care of their babies. So I don't know when I can get together with them. If they don't have a computer at home where they can do it, you know, that's gonna be a problem, I know that.
Right,
I mean, I'm just saying, you know.
right. Well,
It's not
as
like we-
hours open up in the lab downstairs, there'll be lab hours on Fridays. I've also had students who've gone to the library and used the public access computers at the library. You can get a headphone at the dollar store.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had anybody who didn't have a computer either. I've had people who didn't know how to use a computer, and that has been a challenge, but Michael's met with us in the lab a couple of times with some of the students who were, the student who didn't understand you needed more than earbuds to record something. That was a challenge, but for the most part, it's been okay. I haven't had anybody say they don't have access, so we may have just been lucky, but I have been using it for listening, speaking for. We were working on final past tense endings, whether it was ED, T, or D. Yeah. So we did that in class, and then yeah, I had the same problem that April had, and I discovered I'm going to have to, because it was like, I don't know who T3RE 2009 is.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of, you know, by process of elimination, figure out who some of the students were.
For your homework, record your 10 sentences in this discussion.
Okay, so it was, they had a discussion in class, they had written 10 sentences using some of the verbs that I had given them, and then they had to record those sentences back to me so I could hear whether or not they were doing those things correctly.
Work. She worked in a very innovative company.
And so you get some of those and you have to explain to them, you know.
Joy,
Turn off the water.
I enjoyed swimming at the beach yesterday.
Okay, so that's what you get with that. I did a dictation where I gave them a handout, and it was like a closed dictation. There were words missing. They had to listen to the dictation.
A 20-unit apartment building burned for about an hour before
It's all
firemen
past
were able to
tense.
extinguish it. The fire started in the attic at about 10:30 p.m.
So then what they had to do was they had to listen, figure out what the missing words were, and then they had to record it back to me. Okay, it's about a